warm good afternoon to all of you. Dear students, I welcome you all in digital class of biology. Students, as we all know that we are doing revision for our upcoming essays. So today I'll take the definitions of chapter 2nd, that is sexual reproduction in flowering plant. But before that, I would like to say something, okay, which Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Dear student, he says that no one should abandon duties, means no one should leave his or her duties because he sees defect in them. Dear student, every action, every activity, okay, everything is surrounded by one or the other defect. As we can see that fire, okay, which is so pure, it is also surrounded by smoke. So how we can expect that our duties cannot have any defect? Okay, just your work is to accept them and work your karma with full devotions. Okay, so with this beautiful thought, I would like to start with the revision, okay, of definitions which are in chapter sexual reproduction in flowering plant. So dear students, first definition is that of artificial hybridization. Student, what is this artificial hybridization? Whenever word artificial is there, make it show that it is related to human beings, okay, that they are artificially hybridizing something. Hybridizing means what? They are crossing, they are fusing, okay, two different plants, male and female gamete, to form some desired flower, to produce some desired fruit. Clear? So student, its simple definition is what? That it is a process in which only desired pollen grain, okay, the word desired here, it is very important. They are used for pollination and fertilization, okay, and it is commonly used technique in plant breeding program in order to obtain desirable characters in a particular flower or fruit or whatever is the product. Clear? Student, during artificial hybridization, only the desired pollen grain are introduced to the stigma through pollination. Okay, suppose here I am drawing, okay, this is your pistil, okay, this is your stamen, okay, this is flower. Clear? What happens, students? My one flower is this and my one flower is this, okay. Now I want that the pollen grain of this flower, okay, must be introduced in the stigma of this flower, so that this flower must produce the fruits, okay, which is produced by this flower. Okay, they both are different flower. Okay, so artificially I am introducing the pollen grain of this plant 2 into plant 1. Okay, and in future it will produce desirable fruit. Clear? Understood? Students, this process of hybridization involves various steps, okay, but most important steps are your emasculation and bagging, okay, and the definition of these two terms may be asked in your exam. Okay, so now what is this emasculation, students? Okay, I've told you earlier also that in case of your emasculation, anther are removed from the bisexual flower. What is bisexual flower? The flower which contain both male and female part is known as bisexual flower. Okay, so here what happened in this, anther are removed. See here, with the help of this scissor, okay, they are removing the anther. Okay, understood? It can also be done with the help of forceps. Clear? And it is done before the anther descends. What is descends? एंथर के टूटने से पहले, एंथर के फटने से पहले, ओके, मीन्स pollen grain are still in that anther. You remember the diagram of that pollen grain? This is your anther, okay, and then it will, if I'll cut its TS section, it would be in this way, We will study about this diagram also. Okay, these are your microsporogenesis. Okay, and it contain your pollen grain. Okay, so before the dehiscence, okay, it can dehiscence like this, and then your pollen grain will release from it. But before this process, we need to do the emasculation. Clear? Understood? Then after that, we will transfer the pollen grain from our desired plant into this. Clear? Student, after this, one more technique is there for artificial hybridization, that is bagging. Okay, it is also an important definition. What is this bagging? Student, emasculated flower. What is this emasculated flower? Emasculated flower is that flower from where anther has been removed. Okay, after that, it is covered with the help of bags which is made up of butter paper to avoid interference of other pollen grains, called as bagging. As you can see in this, see here, okay, polythene bag is wrapped. Okay, in this also you can see, okay, here also you can see that one person, okay, he is doing bagging. Student, after bagging, what they do? Tagging. What is this tagging? The attachment of tag to remind date of emasculation, then plant name, etc. is done, which we called tagging. Clear? See here, this is after emasculation we do bagging. Okay, we wrap a polythene bag which is made up of butter paper. Clear? And this is tagging, as you can see here. Okay, and in this there would be the date of emasculation, okay, and the name of the plant. Every detail must be there in this tag. Clear? Next definition is, student, endospermic seed and non-endospermic seed. Okay, what are these two terms? Student, endospermic seeds are those seeds, okay, which have endosperm, which possess some endosperm. The plant embryo increases in size, only absorbs some of the endosperm, known as corn. Okay, as I have told you that zygote uses embryo to grow into embryo. Okay, but in case of your endospermic seed, some embryo it is left. Okay, whereas in case of non-endospermic seed, don't think that non-endospermic seed don't have any endosperm. They have endosperm, but that endosperm has been used up by your zygote to form embryo. Okay, understood? Clear? And the example of this is your corn and here broad bean. Okay, this you will understand through this. Okay, endospermic and non-endospermic. See here, this is your endospermic and we can see here endosperm is there. Okay, and this is your non-endospermic. There is no endosperm. Why? Because embryo has used all the endosperm. Okay, after that, one more, this is your broad bean and maize. Okay, as we can see in case of your maize is your endospermic seed and it contain endosperm. Broad bean, it also contain endosperm, but it has been used up by your zygote. Okay, so now there is no endosperm left, so it is known as non-endospermic seed. The example is broad bean. Clear? One more, see here, this is your endospermic seed. Okay, so here this is endosperm, whereas there is no endosperm. Okay, just cotyledon is there. Okay, and in this case cotyledon is very short. So I hope so that you have got an idea. So for more explanation, if you will get to know the difference between the two, then it will be more easy for you all. Okay, so in case of your endospermic seed, student, another name of endospermic seed is albuminous seed. Don't get confused. Clear? That is why I have given this to you, so that there should not be any confusion. Okay, albuminous seed or endospermic seed. So endosperm is not completely used by the developing embryo. See here, the word is not completely used. Okay, so a portion of it remains in the seed. There is endosperm, why? Because it is not been used up by your developing embryo. Clear? That is all zygote only. Okay, zygote will develop to form embryo. Embryo means what? A group of cells. Okay, then a non-endospermic seed, student, here endosperm was there, but now it is completely used by the developing embryo before the maturation of seed, so there is no endosperm left in the seed. Okay, now I'm sure that you know the difference between endospermic and non-endospermic seed. Another name of non-endospermic is non-albuminous seed, and the another name of endospermic seed is albuminous seed. Clear? What are the examples are important. Okay, in biology we all know the example of your albuminous seed or endospermic seeds are coconut, castor and maize, whereas the example of your non-albuminous seed and your non-endospermic seed is pea, bean and mustard. Clear? I hope so that you have got an idea. Okay. Next term is student parthenocarpic. What is this parthenocarpic? It is the condition in which fruit are developed without the formation of seed. There is no formation of seed. Okay. There is no seed but fruit is formed, and this is mainly due to the absence of fertilization, because seed is the product of your fertilization only, but there is no fertilization, no pollination and no embryo development. In botany, parthenocarpic is known as virgin fruit. Okay, we can say this, and the best example is your pineapple. Okay, for more better understanding, see here student, we can say that parthenocarpy is the natural or artificially induced production of fruit without fertilization of ovule. Okay, there is no sexual reproduction, your pollen grain doesn't fuse with the ovule. Okay, but then also there is production of the fruit. Okay, and the process of parthenocarpic, it always produce seedless fruit. Okay, you might have seen some oranges. Okay, they are also seedless, so remember that those oranges are produced by your parthenocarpic technique. Clear? What is parthenogenesis? It refers to the production of egg cell without fertilization. Okay, it is the process. Okay, parthenogenesis word we generally used for animal, and parthenocarpic, okay, carpi means fruit. Okay, so production of fruit without fertilization. Parthenocarpic word is generally used for fruits, and parthenogenesis word is used for animals. Okay, and parthenogenesis in case of animal, it occur in case of your honeybees. Okay, in your plus 2 standard, in your next chapter of genetics you will study about that. Student, apomixis. Now what is this apomixis? It is derived from two Greek word. Apo means away from and mixed means the act of mixing. Okay, so it referred to the occurrence of asexual reproduction process in the place of normal sexual process, which involve reduction, division and fertilization. Apomixis can be best described as a reference to the asexual process. Okay, if I will say in one line, simple line, I can say that it is a phenomenon of asexual reproduction, okay, that imitates your sexual reproduction, okay, by formation of seed. Okay, we have studied in case of your parthenocarpic that there is no formation of seed. Okay, but in case of your apomixis there is formation of seed, however it is a kind of asexual reproduction. And student, if it is a asexual reproduction, then how it is leading to the production of seed? Clear? We will study about this. Students, apomixis occur, okay, in plant in two life cycles, that is gametophytic and sporophytic. Okay, in some plant it can be gametophytic and in some plant it can be sporophytic. What happen in your gametophytic? Embryo develops by gametophyte. Okay, that is your embryo sac. Remember what is embryo sac? Okay, this is your embryo sac. Okay, and when your embryo will produce from this embryo sac, and we know that the chromosome number of your embryo sac is 2n. Okay, so it will produce your diploid embryo. Okay, generally also student, what happen that two haploid cells, they will combine together to form diploid. Okay, and in this case what happen, your diploid, it doesn't undergo meiosis or anything. Okay, it will simply undergo mitosis and it will produce same number of chromosomes. And in case of your sporophytic, what happen, embryo develop directly from the diploid somatic cell. Okay, means mother cell of both are your diploid only. So what is the need of taking two haploid if already we have one diploid? Okay, one diploid can produce one diploid. organism only, okay, but it produce seeds. Remember that thing. Clear to all? Student, if you want to know the difference between apomixis and parthenocarpic, it is that apomixis refer to a type of asexual reproduction, I have told you, that replace the normal sexual reproduction in plant, whereas parthenocarpic refer to the development of fruit without fertilization. In case of your apomixis, there is production of seed without fertilization, whereas in case of parthenocarpic, there is no seed formation. Your apomixis occur in your roses, oranges, in your citrus fruit, I can say, okay, whereas your parthenocarpy occur in your banana, pineapple and watermelon. Next, student, in case of your apomixis, it mimics sexual reproduction. In what way? In producing seed, whereas in case of your parthenocarpic, it is induced by growth regulators, okay, such as your auxin and gibberellin, okay. Generally parthenocarpy we do artificially. Understood? And student, our next term is polyembryony, okay. Polyembryony means what? Many embryo, okay. So what happen in this? Polyembryony is the phenomenon of two or more embryos which is developing from a single fertilized egg, okay. In human we can say identical twins are the example, okay, but here in your plus 2 standard we are studying in reference to plants. It occur regularly in many plants and animal, okay, and it was discovered by Leeuwenhoek in 1979 in Citrus aurantium, okay. The term was coined by Braun in 1859 and it is mainly observed in your gymnosperm and rarely in your angiosperm. Student, what happened in your polyembryony? I've told you that it was observed by Leeuwenhoek in your citrus fruit. What happened in this? Student, your polyembryony occurred due to the formation of more than one egg in embryo sac, okay. Till now we have studied that there is only one egg. If you will see this, okay, there is only one egg, okay, but in this case what happened? There is more than one egg in your embryo sac, okay. One egg was there, but now in certain cases there are many eggs, okay, and the formation of more than one embryo sac due integument and nucellus, and sometimes there can be many embryo sac also, okay, and if two embryo sacs are there means two eggs would be there, or sometime only one embryo sac and two eggs are there, okay, or three eggs are there. Clear? And students, synergid cell and antipodal cell may also develop into embryo. Sometimes some mutation occur, okay, in your embryo sac, that your antipodal cells, your the synergid, they can also mutate to form embryo, okay. So in turn they will form seed, okay. Example of these are your orange, lemon, groundnut, mango and onion. Clear? What is the importance of your polyembryony? It is helpful in your plant breeding and horticulture, as we will get many of the seeds and we can perform various experiment, okay. So this is the difference between your polyembryony and apomixis. What happen in case of your polyembryony? There is formation of more than one embryo from a single fertilized egg, whereas in case of your apomixis there is seed production, okay, without fertilization. In case of your polyembryony, one zygote will form many embryo, okay. Egg was one only, but when division will occur, it will produce many embryo, and many embryo will in turn will form many seeds, okay. So polyembryony contain many seeds, okay, and we can see that in your citrus fruit there are many seeds. And then there is no zygote production in case of apomixis. If I'll talk about seedling identical as from single zygote but not clones of parent plant, whereas in case of apomixis, seedling genetically identical and also clone of the parent plant. Clones means they are exactly similar to their parent plant. Example of apomixis, they are seen in the family of asteracean grasses. Learn this for your competitive as well as for your board point of view. And the example of your polyembryony, it is your mango, citrus and onion, okay. Understood? Student, your this apomixis also occur in your citrus and mango, remember, okay, but we can do these artificially. So for more explanation about polyembryony, you can see, okay, your these antipodals or your synergid, they can mutate to form embryo, and if many embryos are there, they in turn will form many eggs. Okay, so here also you can go for this. And with this I finish the definition of chapter 2nd. Student, I hope so that you have got everything, but if still there is any query, please feel free to call me. Thank you and have a wonderful day ahead.